Welcome back to the channel. This is one you absolutely do not want to miss, and I mean it. There are days when you can afford to casually scroll, half listen, and maybe even skip a video, but today is not one of those days. This update is packed from start to finish. The opportunities here are real, and if you've been following ZBCN closely, then you already know we are getting dangerously close to that moment where hesitation can cost you the kind of gains that people talk about for years afterward. But before we dive too deep, let me remind you that nothing here is financial advice. I'm not your financial advisor. I could always be wrong, and crypto has a way of humbling even the most confident traders. I'm simply sharing what I'm seeing, what I'm personally doing, and what the charts, sentiment, and history seem to be telling me. Always do your own research, double-check every fact, and never risk more than you can afford to lose. This content is for educational and informational purposes only and should not be taken as financial advice. Now, let's address the obvious. Today is a red day in the market. For some people, red days trigger panic. For me, they're almost a relief. We've been through this cycle countless times before, and these dips are often the best moments to quietly accumulate without the noise of euphoria clouding your judgment. I've seen it happen repeatedly. People panic sell on red days, the market reverses, and then they're left watching from the sidelines as prices climb without them. While a lot of coins are taking a hit today, Ethereum is running. That's always an interesting dynamic because historically, when Ethereum pumps hard, you often see Bitcoin lose a bit of dominance and trade sideways, which eventually frees up liquidity for altcoins. The moment Ethereum slows down and consolidates, that's when the real magic starts for the altcoin market. And in my opinion, ZBCN is perfectly positioned to benefit from that shift. Not every altcoin will make massive moves when that rotation happens. In fact, most won't, but a select few will deliver the kind of life-changing returns that become defining moments in someone's investment journey, and I strongly believe ZBCN is in that category. When I scanned the market today, especially coins ranked between 101 and 200, one thing jumped out immediately. Whitecoin was up 79%. That kind of sudden move is a perfect reminder that in this range, hype can build fast and out of nowhere. More importantly, it tells us that liquidity is still moving, still looking for opportunities, and still rewarding coins that capture attention. A pump like that means attention can shift quickly, and ZBCN is right in the sweet spot to catch that wave. Yes, the market is red overall, but to me that just screams buying opportunity. If my broader thesis about where the market is heading is correct, you only have a short window left before these prices disappear and never come back. And while we're talking about positioning, let's talk about something fun, the ZBCN Rich List. I saw an updated version on X the other day, and it breaks down like this. Shrimp, 50,000 ZBCN. Salmon, 100,000 ZBCN. Dolphin, 1.5 million ZBCN. Shark, 2.5 million ZBCN. Orca, 5 million ZBCN. Whale, 10 million ZBCN. Kraken, 15 to 20 million ZBCN. Now be honest, how many of you are Kraken level holders? Drop it in the comments because that's serious conviction, and I'm genuinely curious to see who's swimming in those deep waters. The bullish case for ZBCN goes beyond just community pride. The chart is still looking strong to a lot of traders, and some are even predicting 25 cents by the end of the year. That would be remarkable given where we are now. What's even more interesting is how bullish sentiment remains even though the price action has been relatively flat. Some people believe exchanges are suppressing the price, and while I can't confirm that for sure, I will say that this isn't new in crypto. Market makers and exchanges have their games, but suppression never lasts forever. When true demand kicks in, no artificial pressure can hold it back, and the breakout often ends up being even more violent because of all that pent-up energy. ZBCN trading sideways while Ethereum is hitting new 2025 highs is not a bearish sign to me. In fact, it tells me the community is holding strong, not panic selling and waiting for the right moment. If ZBCN were dumping every day while Ethereum surged, that might raise red flags. But this isn't that. This is quiet accumulation. Case in point, I saw a community member named Angelica post, "I don't care who talks about me," My portfolio is up because of ZBCN, aren't you? She's up 600%. People are celebrating, dancing, and sharing their wins. That is not the vibe of a coin in trouble. That is the vibe of a coin that's building pressure under the surface. Now, one reason the price isn't breaking out right now is the upcoming token unlock on the 15th of every month. This is a regular event that spooks some holders into selling early, just in case. But history has shown a very clear pattern. Price either moves sideways or dips slightly before the unlock. The unlock happens, and then price rallies afterward. It's happened multiple times. The people losing are those who sell into fear instead of buying when everyone else is nervous. Right now, ZBCN is up 5.5% in the past week, but down about 5% in the past 24 hours. The market cap sits at $461 million with a fully diluted valuation of $519 million. The token supply is almost fully unlocked, and by March next year it will be 100% unlocked. Once that happens, one of the biggest sources of fear, dilution, is gone. Then there's the big catalyst that could completely change the game, a potential Binance or Coinbase listing. If that happens, you can forget about seeing a $461 market cap ever again. It would likely be a multi-billion-dollar valuation within days. That's why you position early. Unfortunately, too many traders wait for confirmation, for the big announcement, and then buy at the peak. It's the same mistake over and over again. If 2025 has taught investors anything, it's this: chasing green candles almost always ends badly. Many portfolios were wiped this year because people FOMO'd into rallies instead of patiently accumulating during the quiet times. The strategy is simple: identify strong projects early, accumulate before catalysts, and hold through the noise. One of the tools I use to gauge momentum is called Trade Assist. It flags bullish and bearish shifts and provides buy-sell cues. Right now, it still shows bullish momentum for ZBCN, which has been in place since July 28th. Yes, we had a pullback thanks to geopolitical headlines, tariffs, Russia, you name it. But even then, ZBCN didn't flip to bearish like many other coins did. On top of that, we've got a triple bottom showing on the chart, which is a textbook bullish reversal pattern. To me, the chart still looks healthy. The fundamentals are intact, and the only real hesitation in the market is tied to token unlock nerves. Nerves that history says will fade quickly once the event passes. In the short term, I expect ZBCN to push back toward its all-time highs of around $0.70. If we break that level, we enter price discovery, and that's when FOMO buyers flood in. Ironically, those buyers could have gotten in today at a discount, but they won't. They'll wait for the hype and then pay a premium. In the long term, my conviction comes from more than just charts. ZBCN has a strong community with deep conviction, a predictable price pattern around unlocks, sideways accumulation instead of panic dumps, a real shot at major exchange listings, and a valuation that still leaves massive room for growth. If the broader altcoin market wakes up in Q4 2025, and history suggests it will, ZBCN is positioned to be one of the standout performers. Patience in crypto is painful, but it's also one of the most profitable traits you can develop. The next big move in ZBCN won't send you a calendar invite. It will just happen. The only question is, will you already be in, or will you be chasing it? If you enjoyed this deep dive into Zebec, don't forget to smash that like button, share this with your fellow crypto enthusiasts, and subscribe for more daily market insights. Your support keeps this channel alive.